This weekend, the Trump administration came after USAID, an independent government agency administering foreign aid. Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, has now forced its way into the agency's classified systems. And now the very officials who tried to push back are placed on leave after Musk's team tried and succeeded in gaining access to personnel files and security systems, including classified systems and security clearance information for USAID employees. This comes after Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent gave Musk's team access to the department's $6 trillion payment system, which handles federal payroll, retirement benefits, health care, and government insurance. As first pointed out by Senator Ron Wyden, Musk now has access to the Social Security numbers, government contract payments, including those that compete with his own companies. What he doesn't have is a security clearance or the right to access that information. Now, this comes after the acting Deputy Secretary, David Lebrick, at the Treasury Department resigned Friday after Musk's team first requested access to their system. Musk has always made his intentions clear. Just this weekend, he admitted that he wanted access to the personal data of many so that he could shut down what he calls illegal payments to essential nonprofits. Well, today he took it a step further. He actually called USAID a criminal organization. And based on new reporting from NBC News, federal workers across several agencies are growing worried over what they describe as Trump's war against his own government, as Elon Musk helps carry out his battles. And we can report that employees are receiving emails reminding them constantly that they could be fired at any moment. One of them told us that if you want government to function, you wouldn't attack federal employees daily with psychological warfare. You'd want them to show up motivated. Now, the president might be using Musk to carry out his dirty work, but don't lose sight of what Musk is really in it for, possibly his own bottom line. Take this past September, when Musk called for the FAA administrator at the time, Mike Whitaker, to resign after first finding SpaceX, then ultimately grounding Starship operations following an explosion during a test launch that left fields of debris on communities below. By Inauguration Day, Whitaker was gone, thanks in part to the pressure campaign that was launched by Musk. In fact, as the plane crashed last week over Washington, D.C., the United States actually had no FAA administrator. Shrinking government has always been on Musk's to-do list. He's always raged against big government. And now a man who's always down to troll and get petty has access and potentially control of sensitive federal data. Not to mention all the data he has through owning X. We should note that Elon is amping up the antics at a time when polling shows many Americans not cool with billionaires calling the shots. 6 in 10 Americans say they believe it is dangerous that President Donald J. Trump is relying so much on billionaires for policy advice. In short, folks, anywhere else, an unelected billionaire creating a government department out of nowhere, taking control of classified and personal data, bullying officials out of their posts, and helping a leader purge the federal government, as I said, anywhere, we would probably be calling that a coup. Let's get real about something else. Elon Musk is not a federal employee, nor has he been appointed by the president, nor approved by the Senate to have any legitimate leadership role in government. With me now, former Republican Congressman Denver Riggleman. He's the author of The Breach, the untold story of the investigation into January 6th, and also served as a senior advisor to the January 6th Select Committee. Also with us, Democratic strategist Julie Roginsky. She's the author of the Salty Politics newsletter on Substack. It's great to have both of you with us. Congressman, I'll start with you. The outrage from the Republican Party, safe to say minimal at best. You would also think that Trump wouldn't want someone stepping on his toes and kind of stealing the limelight from him. But here's where we are 2 weeks into this Trump administration. Why do you think the GOP is normalizing this kind of behavior from Elon Musk and Donald Trump?
Hey, it's good to see you tonight. I think it's because their polling and crosstabs still show favorability to Donald Trump. I don't really think they care about the American people. They care about winning in their specific district. And you know what's amazing to me is that when I was a Republican way back in the day, right? Big government picking, winners and losers. He wants small government. Well, now we have Republicans, and when you look at polling, people who are Trump and support Trump, all of a sudden they think big government is the way to go. And I just find it so interesting, right? This picking winners and losers is the thing that people want, right? When you're looking at where this is going. And I just find it fascinating and also absolutely disturbing that this is happening. The flip to that too, allowing Elon to run through the woods like this without any security clearances. But the other thing is that it's going directly against the competitors that he has, which is something I know you mentioned at the beginning, but that also blows my mind when you talk about conflicts of interest for any type of the contractual obligations. And the last thing is the security clearances. Vetting is awful. Julie knows this. Vetting is long. It's irritating. It's frustrating. Nobody wants to fill out an SF-86. It sucks, right? But it is an absolutely necessary function because you don't want a bunch of people looking through private files and payment files that haven't been vetted properly. And I think the cancer has been injected to the system, and I think we're going to see it here down the road.
Let me share with you, and let's talk about Democrats for a moment here. And let me share with you what Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez posted on X a short while ago about this USAID purge and Musk's access to it. It's on the screen there. It says, she wrote, "This is a five-alarm fire. The people elected Donald Trump to be president, not Elon Musk. Having an unelected billionaire with his own foreign debts and motives raiding U.S. classified information is a grave threat to national security. This should not be a partisan issue." Probably the strongest comment we've seen from a Democrat. We've also seen from Senator Ron Wyden. But give me your take on why the Democrats seem to be sitting on the sidelines right now. Why are we not hearing more outrage from this? Why does this need to be? There's such a lag between when something happens and them formulating an opinion or formulating a statement and coming out a couple of days later. Why is there not more outrage?
That's a great question, and I'm disgusted about it. And I've been banging the drum about this for literally weeks, if not months, since Trump got elected. Look, you have Hakeem Jeffries, the leader of the House of Representatives, saying, and I think I'm paraphrasing here, but very close to the quote, like Aaron Judge doesn't swing at every pitch, and I'm not going to swing at everything that Trump does. Well, does he think he's pitching against Sandy Koufax here?
Right.
Like who are you talking about? This is not Sandy Koufax. Right. This is Donald Trump. Everything he does is a lob, and it's easy to attack. And by the way, if you normalize any part of it, you normalize all of it. And so for the leader of the House of Representatives on the Democratic side, for Chuck Schumer, fighting Chuck from Brooklyn, to basically say, I'm not going to lie down, I'm going to lie down on the tracks on some of these things. What are you doing? You can't normalize any part of this. Democrats have tools at their disposal, even the minority. They can stop with unanimous consent, and Denver knows this. They can stop unanimous consent. They can ensure that everything has to be voted on to go to cloture. I mean, there are things that they can do to really gum up the works in the Senate. And they could stop voting for every single one of Trump's nominees. Marco Rubio, by the way, who's going to subsume USAID allegedly, 99-0. Why in the world would you give any member of the Trump administration that kind of win? Absolutely inexcusable for the Democrats. And by the way, if they don't start behaving like the opposition party, these leaders are going to be replaced. I think they completely misunderstand the anger in the grassroots from people, including me, who's basically an establishment Democrat and has been for 30 years, to say enough is enough. You cannot do this anymore. The
mistake that Hakeem Jeffries and others are making is possibly the fact that, look, no one is saying, you want to take a swing at every policy difference, but there are now fundamental things that are eroding our democracy. When you fire inspector generals, when you go after government employees, when you have access to payments, these are things that are eroding the way our government functions. These are not policy differences.
I'll go a step further. Donald Trump said on Meet the Press back in December on this network, he said, I'm going to lower the price of bacon, the price of apples, and the price of, I forgot what else. Something else.
Groceries.
So basically groceries, right? Apples have gone up every single week that he's been in office. Where are the Democrats talking about that? Where are they talking about the price increase? I mean, fundamental, easy lobs. Again, this is not swinging at every pitch from some ace pitcher. This is literally reminding the American people what was promised to them and what is being delivered. And yet there seem to be somehow in some, I don't know where they are, but wherever they are, they're not out here talking about it the way you are, the way Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is, the way Senator Wyden is. These are the leaders that the Democratic Party is looking to, and they're absent. And if you're listening to me, I'm begging you, on behalf of the grassroots of this party, please come out of your hiding hole because we need you. And if you're not going to do it, get out of the way and let others lead, please.
What do you think, Congressman, how long this bromance between Musk and Trump will last? I mean, I wonder to what extent Musk is operating with the blessing of Donald Trump, knowing exactly what he's doing every step of the way, or has Trump now gotten behind Musk, or Musk, I should say, getting out ahead of his skis a little bit and Trump kind of playing catch up?
I think, Julie, God dang, I love being on here with you when you get angry. It makes me happy. And, the other thing, too, when you're talking about the Musk-Trump bromance, I think it lasts as long as Trump thinks that he can actually gain wealth from Elon Musk's participation in the United States government. And, Julie's exactly right about the language. It seems like the Democrats have no idea how to attack insanity, which happened over the last few years also. Well, I sort of do know how to attack insanity. You have to call it like you see it. And right now, we really have a billionaire, or actually I would say an incel trapped in a billionaire's body running through our government organizations, and they're wreaking havoc on it, putting fear into people, with the damaging and threatening emails. But I think there's something even worse, and I think that we have data, United States data in the hands of people that haven't been vetted. Where does that data go? And when you see Elon Musk, and I know at the beginning, Ayman, you said that, he rails against big government. Well, he loves Chinese big government because people should look at the state-owned enterprises that have invested in Elon Musk's companies. So where's all this money going? How are they directing those monies? What are they doing with contracts? How are they identifying the competitors in the spaces that are going directly against Elon? How is he enriching himself? But really, how is he enriching Donald Trump's family? I think the bromance lasts as long as Donald Trump thinks there's money going in his pocket somehow based on Elon's activities.
I don't know if, Julie, you would be able to answer this, but I suspect the way our government works is that there must be some kind of oversight to prevent somebody like Elon Musk having this complete carte blanche access to classified information systems as well as personnel information. The conflict of interest thing maybe falls in a separate bucket, but you'd like to think that there's got to be something, anything, that Congress can do on this issue.
Of course. It's called separation of powers. We have a Constitution that has checks and balances both from the courts and from the legislative branch. But here's the beauty of what Donald Trump has done. He has completely subsumed the legislative branch. They have bent the knee to the point where they are terrified of crossing Trump, but they're also terrified of crossing Musk because thanks to Citizens United, he can pour an unlimited amount of money into any primary and take any of them out. And you've got the courts, which of course said to Donald Trump, you can do whatever you want as president and it's not criminal. And by the way, you're also able, because of the Constitution, to pardon anybody who does anything criminal on your behalf, no questions asked. So is there something on paper that the founding fathers thought they could do? Of course. They came up with a fabulous system. Unfortunately, we've gotten to the point where the system is collapsing. It's not working. And again, the only people that should be pointing this out all day, all night are the Democrats, and they're not doing what they need to be doing.